1985. There's a new man in the Kremlin. Mikhail Gorbachev begins talking peace. It's very attractive. American President Ronald Reagan is determined to regain the initiative. He comes to Berlin in July 1987.
Just this picture, which has been reproduced millions of times of him standing there in front of the Brandenburg Gate, was as dramatic an effect as you could have. And so we more than achieved our goals with the speech.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Reagan was the first president in a long time who didn't see the Cold War continuing forever. He had at least a hope that it would be temporary, that the Cold War would end, the Soviet Union would end, and the Cold War would be over and the US would win it.
In this thaw between East and West, Honecker visits his counterpart in West Germany, Helmut Kohl. The ultimate recognition for the little brother.
Wir achten die bestehenden Grenzen, doch die Teilung wollen wir überwinden. Auf dem Wege friedlicher Verständigung und in Freiheit.
Just words?
Erich Honecker tried so long to keep a tight hand on things because he knew that he couldn't afford to just relax slightly, because as soon as he relaxed, East Germany would go. It would just
October the 7th, East Germany celebrates its 40th birthday. As far as communist leader Erich Honecker is concerned, his country will go on forever. But Soviet Premier Mikhail Gorbachev has different thoughts. Of reforms.
Was shouting out, "Gorby, save us." And that really was the point at which I think the pressure cooker inside East Germany met the reform movement within the Communist Party, and that decisive point arrived where suddenly it was really clear that the Russian bayonets were not going to save Honecker.
Unsere Freunde in aller Welt seien versichert, dass der Sozialismus auf deutschem Boden in der Heimat von Marx und Engels auf unerschütterlichen Grundlagen steht.
Honecker was deeply resistant to change, not at all interested in compromising, and he felt that the regime was solid. He lived increasingly in a world of fantasy.
Because elsewhere in Eastern Europe, in Poland, Czechoslovakia and Hungary, borders are opening. The electrified fence between Hungary and Austria has been dismantled. Suddenly, East German vacationers have a safe way out.
On the trees were nails, and they'd hung their keys on them. Car keys, house keys. So they left behind. I mean, I live in a house with all kinds of stuff. I can't imagine walking away and leaving it all. That's what they did. That's how badly they wanted to go.
At the West German embassy in Prague, hundreds, then thousands of East Germans take refuge. Finally, they're told that West Germany has agreed to take them in.
Kann ich nur sagen, ich bin ein freier Mensch.
Soviet Premier Mikhail Gorbachev refuses to act to protect East Germany. His advice?
Я думаю, опасности только подстерегают тех, кто не реагирует на жизнь. Ich glaube, Gefahren warten nur auf jene, die nicht auf das Leben reagieren.
And nothing would ever happen in East Germany, nothing would have ever happened in most of Eastern Europe if it hadn't been for the arrival of one man, and that was Gorbachev. This was the first man who said, we are not going to send in the tanks.
But Honecker's regime is not giving in.
It was the biggest gathering I think they'd ever had, and when you saw that, you realized, wow, if they're out here, they cannot stop this. They can't stop people speaking, they can't stop them gathering, and people are not afraid to gather. It's over. The authorities have lost total control. Genie's out of the bottle, the toothpaste is out of the tube, whatever you want to call it.
East German Politburo spokesman Günter Schabowski announces on November the 9th, 1989, that for the first time, East German citizens can travel abroad freely. A journalist asks him when. He answers, at once. It was a mistake. He should have said tomorrow. The news spreads like wildfire. 3 hours later at the checkpoints, border guards are totally unprepared.
We grabbed all our gear and we raced as fast as we could go to Checkpoint Charlie, and there they were. They were just heaving through. The gates were open, the guards were gone, the people were just pouring through. One gigantic street party, and all these travvies were coming across. These rotten little Trabants were coming across, and the West Germans were shouting and hollering, and people were hugging. It was a fabulous, fabulous moment.
Wenn mir einer erzählt hätte, dass zu meinen Lebzeiten noch diese verdammte Mauer weg ist, hätte ich gesagt, der spinnt.
But not everyone is happy.
Und die da drüben reden hier von Wiedervereinigung, also da bin ich absolut dagegen, weil ich finde, es sind zwar auch viele gute Seiten, aber die haben auch viel Dreck da drüben, ne? Und das soll drüben bleiben. Ne?
East Germany disappeared like a fairy tale, a nasty fairy tale. And I think, to me, that's my chief fascination with the place. It seemed artificial at the time, and now it went like a puff of smoke over a period of just a few days and months.
On October the 3rd, Germany was reunified. It signified the end of the Cold War. During the 28 years the war existed, at least 40,000 people escaped across the border to the west. 75,000 more were prosecuted for trying. Over 1,300 died, including at least 136 in Berlin itself. But the East covered up many deaths so effectively, the exact total is still not known. Today, the Berlin Wall, that symbol of the Iron Curtain, the front line in the Cold War, has disappeared. Remnants can be found in museums around the world. Some pieces ended up as souvenirs. But most of the concrete and steel that formed the wall has been recycled to help rebuild Germany, a once divided country.